Over the past few months, with the grace of God, my team and I were busy painting all of the icons in this dome that are part of the church's living sacrament, a visual language that draws us into prayer and presence. In this video, I'll share a look at how this dome came to life and what actually goes into creating these sacred images from start to the final brushstrokes high up in the dome. Welcome. Welcome back for another video, albeit a little different from what I usually share here. Normally my channel focuses on art education, techniques, and my creative process, but I wanted to take you inside this commission and show how those same principles come together in a sacred setting. I've specialized in this style of art since my graduation from the Academy in 1999, and a lot of the concepts of design, edges, and color I teach on YouTube are exemplified here in a much larger setting. This is St. Peter's and St. Paul's Greek Orthodox Church in Kitchener, Ontario, a parish founded by a dedicated group of families back in the 60s who later came together to build this beautiful church in 1991. I was commissioned to create a series of religious compositions throughout the dome interior painted in the traditional Byzantine style of iconography. The dome alone spans nearly 10 meters across, which is about 32 feet, and rises 70 feet above the floor. Each of the four corners, called pendentifs below, measure around 4.5 meters or about 15 feet high. Needless to say, a project of this scale takes a lot of planning, from early creative meetings that you see here to design discussions to countless other adjustments along the way. For this project, the parish and I decided to approach the painting using a mix of traditional and practical methods. Some of the icons were painted, or written as we often say, on canvas, as you see me doing there, first, which was later adhered directly onto the drywall substrate. It's a process commonly used in modern church interiors because it not only allows for detailed work at ground level, but also strengthens the surface itself. Drywall, after all, is just silica and paper, and this method helps reinforce it once the canvas is mounted. Marouflage, as this technique is called, has been used for centuries from European churches to Eastern Orthodox interiors as well, allowing artists to complete detailed, delicate work in a controlled studio environment rather than on scaffolding high above the floor. Historically, Marouflage was prized for its durability and precision. Once the painted canvas is adhered with a strong adhesive, it becomes permanent, integrating with the wall itself. Some of the historical examples of this that have stood the test of time are from the late 16th century, the burial of Count Orgaz by El Greco. This famous work in the church of Santo Tomé in Toledo, Spain was created using this. Also, Tintoretto, around the same time, painted at least 10 works in the Church of Mary del Orto in Venice. Every project and every parish has its own unique needs. Over the last 26 years of painting churches, I've adapted my approach depending on the situation, sometimes painting directly onto drywall, sometimes working on a heavy 12-ounce canvas like here, and other times using lime paint to work fresco style directly onto mortar. The sequence of painting follows a natural hierarchy, starting at the very top of the dome with the image of Christ, Pantocrator, surrounded by angels, symbolizing the heavenly realm. And then from there, the composition descends to the prophets and then to the four evangelists, one of whom is shown here. This is a visual order that mirrors the spiritual descent from heaven to earth. Once all the icons were completed in the studio over about a 5-month period, the installation began back in November of last year, and this stage took about 3 months. Scaffolding was carefully erected, giving us access to all of the sections of the dome. We combined modern tools like lasers with more traditional ones like measurement tapes, sighting, and of course common sense to ensure that every canvas was positioned perfectly. Planning is really key here. Every icon, from the one above all the way down to the prophets and evangelists, had to be aligned precisely within the composition so that when it was all installed, the flow of the imagery felt natural and harmonious within the sacred space. As I try to navigate through this scaffold maze, I want to talk just briefly about gold and its vital role in Byzantine iconography, and how it's not just decoration, but a symbol of the eternal and the ethereal. In this dome, gold helps convey the heavenly realm, catching light in ways that elevate the entire space. For many of my projects, I've used traditional pure gold leaf, applied through an arduous and sometimes lengthy process. However, for this project and a number of others, we've relied on an alternative gold source from a supplier in Italy. While it's not pure gold, which is prohibitively expensive, as many of you know, it still captures the luminous, timeless quality that gold brings to sacred art. And very importantly, it's archival and light fast, so it won't change and discolor over time. Once the canvases are carefully adhered to the wall, the second stage of painting begins. Each icon is discreetly integrated into the substrate with taping and careful edging so that the canvas becomes virtually invisible. From there, the work moves into the background. We already talked about gold that you can see here, which was applied in multiple layers. And then, of course, the surrounding architecture, decorative motifs, and all the surrounding imagery that frames the figures. And, of course, the titles of the saints, which I'm applying there. This stage brings cohesion to the composition, making the murals feel like a continuous, fully integrated part of the church interior. The nature of this work demands not just skill, but careful collaboration. A strong support structure with the parish is, as already mentioned, essential, and also having a dedicated team to assist with the installation and the more intricate painting tasks makes all the difference. The decorative motifs which we are applying there, for example, must read as a cohesive plane from the floor, not so much only from the scaffold where we are up close to them. Experience, of course, plays a vital role in designing and executing the entire space, which helps guide the composition, proportion, and, of course, visual flow. It's work that requires patience, precision, and a lot of dedication. And frankly, this is an art form that is slowly disappearing in modern times, which makes each completed project feel all the more meaningful. As I pan out to show you the finished upper registers, you just saw the Most Holy Theotokos on one side, flanked on both sides by the Old Testament prophets. You got the prophet Noah there, prophet Elias there, and on the other side is St. John the Baptist right there. In reality, each of these figures stands over 7 feet tall, but from the floor of the church they read, of course, much smaller. And if this is by design. It has to maintain proper proportion and visual hierarchy with the lower register and the upper one. Above them, the standing figures and the ones below them, is Christ in the dome, and that particular icon spans almost 4 meters wide. Actually, with the angels, it's much wider as it reads as one unit. But again, from the ground, it reads in scale with the rest of the composition. Just to reiterate, gold has been applied thoughtfully, accenting details and drawing the eye, balanced against the turquoise and warm tones of the dome, and of course harmonized with that deep Byzantine blue behind Christ. You just saw in that short clip just a general idea of the scale of some of these compositions, like these 4 evangelists, which are almost 5 meters long, that were installed in a similar fashion as the above icons on canvas, and then all the details painted around them. As you can imagine, color plays a critical role in all of this work, and as I've discussed on my channel before, I make my own paints from oils to pastels, and for projects like this. For this church and most other church commissions, I use pure dry pigments blended with my own polymer-based archival medium. The result is paint with exceptional light fastness, vibrancy, and luminosity. These aren't your standard commercial colors. Every hue is carefully crafted to bring richness and depth to the iconography, ensuring it remains radiant for years to come. Here you see me writing the traditional method of building up flesh tones, working from dark to light to create depth and luminosity. Interestingly, this part of the iconography, namely the 4 arches, the friezes that frame the dome, I'm showing you wasn't part of the original scope of the project. Traditionally, these areas are reserved for more recent saints, so for this church we've included 32 in total, 8 on each arch. You'll notice also the golden background is utilized here again, and of course that's strategic, and it echoes the upper registers, and it helps tie the whole space together and create a sense of unity within the dome. Among the saints depicted here are figures like Saint Sava, as I'm showing you there, and Saint Catherine, Saint Paraskevi, and some modern saints like Saint Nectarius or Egina, and of course the parish's patron saints, which are shown right there, Saint Peter and Saint Paul. This additional layer of iconography really enriches the composition, adding both historical depth and a living connection to the community. These 32 saints in the arches were painted directly on site from scratch, an additional phase that came after the parish saw the work on the upper register and wanted us to continue. We kind of rolled with the punches, so to speak, and because the scaffold was already in place, this extra work extended the on-site painting to about 3 months. As you see me there painting the background to one of the saints there, everything is painted from scratch onto a carefully applied drywall substrate. We are so thankful that we can continue to work with parishes from everywhere, really, to design and execute custom church interiors using these traditional and contemporary iconography techniques. From planning, painting to installation, we create spaces that are both visually striking and spiritually meaningful. Truthfully, every space is different, and while people are often apprehensive about cost, we found that by working closely together, these projects are frequently very attainable. Let's see the finished dome. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, post it down below. God bless.